Okay, you guys, so the Starry Night is a very famous painting by Vincent van Gogh. I'm sure some of you have already heard of it. And it was painted, well, I already said that, by Vincent van Gogh. And Vincent was not famous when he was alive. He was actually very poor and never sold a single artwork. Nobody liked his art, but now his painting, The Starry Night, is one of the most famous paintings in the world. So we're gonna kind of emulate his style for these churches. And today we're just gonna paint our background on our canvas, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do, you should have some white and some of this bright blue. This is the blue I had. There's another blue that I'm gonna get you guys. So your blue might look a little bit different than mine. If they have it, I'm gonna get you something that's just slightly darker and a little bit more of a true blue. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is paint your snow. We're gonna do a snowy Starry Night over our churches. And the reason we're doing our snow first is because it's supposed to be white, right? And once you get blue on your paintbrush, it's gonna be really hard to get it all out and make your snow perfectly white. So we're painting our snow white. Now we do know there's gonna be a church in this painting next week, right? And we know it's gonna go like somewhere like right in here. So what I'm gonna do next is put a little tiny itsy bitsy bit of shading into my snow by taking, I'm gonna take a bite of the white and bring it out over here. And I'm gonna take the tiniest bite of blue. We don't want blue snow, right? That maybe was not quite enough. All right, and we're gonna do just a little shading in our snow today. What I'm gonna do is just do a little bit right there along the top of my snow. And then I'm gonna come down here and do a little bit right in here where I think my church is gonna sit for next week, okay? See how it's like right there in the middle? And it's just a tiny bit, very subtle. You don't want a ton, okay? So you need to have your teacher help you mix it if you can. All right, now the next thing we're gonna do is paint our sky solid, and I'm gonna start at the bottom and work my way up. I'm not gonna rinse my brush. I am just going to let that white and that blue mix. And that's kind of why I'm starting at the bottom and working my way up, because it's gonna be lighter because there's still some white in my paintbrush, but then it'll get darker as it goes up, kind of like an ombre effect, right? And I'm painting my edges as I go. That is up to you. If you want to do it where it's completely solid dark blue, then go ahead and rinse your paintbrush out. You have water cups. And do that. Okay, you guys, mine is blow dried and ready to go. You can see I've been experimenting with stars. I learned this technique a while ago, and it's a really fun one, but it's also really great to make your stars look like they are shining in the sky. You can see there's like a really bright yellow in the middle, and then it's got like this lighter yellow, okay? And I still have not added those really fun looking swirls yet. We're getting there, okay? But we want our stars in place first so we know where to put our swirls, right? So what you're gonna do is your teacher's gonna give you just a little bit of yellow. We're gonna use this Sunny Day. It's a really great yellow for stars because it shows up really great on the blue. And we're gonna use our fingers. We're gonna do some finger painting. What do you think about that? But you don't want too much paint to start with. So what you're gonna do is take your paper towel and you dip, let me flip it this way, your finger into the yellow, okay? And that is way too much yellow. And then you wipe or dab most of it off. See? And then you're gonna pick where you want your star, and you just kind of circle your finger so that you make a circle, okay? And there's gonna be some darker areas and some lighter areas in it. So now I'm gonna do the same thing. And I'm just placing where I want my stars to be right now. And then I'll come back in and add that little bright. Okay, so I dabbed most of it off. And then I'm gonna put one, let's say like right here. And I just circle my finger. Some of them will be a little bit bigger. Some will be a little bit smaller. I'm gonna dab. And then I'm gonna do my circle. Now we are gonna have a church right here somewhere, but you don't know where exactly. So it's okay if you fill it. It's also okay if you just wanna kind of go around it. You don't have to fill in the middle. That one had a little bit more, so to make it match, I'm just gonna do this one. It's okay if some are a little bit different, but since it's right here close to this one on the same level, I'm gonna make them the same. Okay, I'm gonna dab so that I don't have as much. I'm gonna do one here. Okay, I'm gonna take some yellow, I'm gonna dab so I don't have as much, and then I'm gonna do this one right here. All right, and now I'm ready to come back, and I'm just gonna use the very tip of my finger, and I'm gonna put the star itself into the center of each of these stars. Okay, now if you wanted to, you could also add some other stuff, like a moon or something, but we're just doing the stars for right now. That looks really great the way it is, okay? But now I'm gonna take my little paintbrush. You guys already have one, I didn't. It's also a good way to paint fireflies, in case you ever need that. And I'm going to take some of this blue that we were using, and again, your blue will probably be a little bit different because I don't love this blue, and I'm going to mix some white with it, okay? But unlike when we mixed the white and blue to make some shading in the snow, we want it to be more blue than white, so I'm kind of just making it a little bit lighter. All right, you don't want white because the white is going to stand out too harsh on that sky. And then you can start painting your swirls. Now, if when you get to painting, if that's not light enough, then guess what? You just add a little bit more white to your paint. That's not enough contrast for me. And you just go over it. It's gonna stand out a little bit more. Okay, so we're just adding swirls and lines to our painting.